Oh, she's had a
win her heat. Thompson-Herah, standing favourite in 4 there in the yellow of Jamaica in the centre. Going well at the moment. She's going well in 1, Zuda Gabrielle, but Thompson-Herah moving away here. Great run from Zoe Hobbs of New Zealand to snatch second place there. Misha Liaye about 1.5 meters behind the Kiwi. That was a very, very out of sorts run from the Trinidad and Tobago athlete. 11.05 there for Thompson-Herah. Well, it still leaves a few questions unanswered. What was the wind doing there? Just waiting to see. 0 wind and 11.05. I think she might be a little bit disappointed with that. The temperature has dropped a fair bit over the last couple of hours. It's not really a warm evening any longer. 7:45 here in Birmingham, but what a run from Zoe Hobbs. 11.05 for Thompson-Herah, 11.15 for the Kiwi, who has booked her place in the final.
Brilliant run by Zoe Hobbs for second. She's third from the left-hand side as we look at it here. Michelle Liaye was always going to come under pressure with Herah to her left. And I think that was an excellent, excellent run by the New Zealander, who stormed to a new national record in the heats in Eugene en route to the semi-finals. Thompson-Herah, I think, kept her powder dry there. She did what she needed to do just off the podium in the 200 on the Gold Coast. I think it's a brilliant affirmation of what the Commonwealth Games means to her, that a 4-time individual reigning Olympic champion has chosen to come here because she's desperate to add the Commonwealth crown to all those Olympic titles. She's into
silence.
Set.
Well, it's a clean start, it's a pretty even start as well. The Nigerian going well in lane number 3. Thompson-Herah, though, the Jamaican running well in lane number 4. Elaine Thompson-Herah takes the gold medal here in Birmingham. 10.95 seconds. The 5-time Olympic champion, the 1 and 200 meter champion in Rio and Tokyo at the Olympic Games, the athlete that had never won an individual Commonwealth medal at all, takes the gold here. The second fastest woman of all time delivers here in Birmingham, 10.95 seconds. That's confirmed as the gold. Let's keep an eye on the positions in terms of silver and bronze. Alfred was running nicely, and indeed, Julienne Alfred of St Lucia, 11.01 seconds. And a roar for Daryl Neater of England, 11.07 seconds. She picks up the bronze.
Wow, what a fantastic race from the women. And in many ways, I feel like it was almost a story of, I'm not sure if redemption is the right word, but each of them had something that they wanted to prove coming back from the World Champs. It was great to see Thompson-Herah come back with fire in her belly. She was not done yet, and great to see her end with an individual gold. Alfred Julian, I think many who have sprinted have that pain of being disqualified from a race, and she's come out and now claimed the silver. And Daryl Neater is so unlucky not to make the final at the World Champs, and not that she did anything wrong, except that she came back here and knew, I have to run faster, and that's what she did. I loved watching Daryl Neater in the blocks just before she put her head down. She whispered to herself the words, let's go.
I tell you what, Alfred put Thompson-Herah under some big pressure there, and Daryl Neater had to come from behind. She was left a little bit at the start. She's done really well for the bronze. Great run by the St Lucian for the silver. She ran really well in the early stages there, and she forced the Jamaican to work pretty hard for that gold.
A head-on shot of our gold medalist. We know she's run 10.54 seconds at her best, but it was just about the Commonwealth gold. Imari, Thompson-Herah and the Dajo. Thompson-Herah out well as expected, still in the dry phase, head down, but eyes up for the Jamaican. Lancikova of England going well in lane number 4. Jamaica, England and Kenya, another sub-11 second clocking, 10.98 seconds.
So Thompson-Herah, Lancikova, Imari.
Good running as expected. It's a title, Rob, that she really, really wants.
And it's brilliant for everybody here and for all nationalities that one of the all-time greats has decided that she wants to come here and contest the Commonwealth Games. There's a little bit of doubt as to whether Sharika Jackson will be here for the 200 metres. She's the fastest living woman on earth over that distance after that incredible gold medal. And that race in which Thompson-Herah kind of faded a little bit in the 200, but I think it's brilliant for the Commonwealth Games and fantastic for everyone who's paid for a ticket that they've got to see one of the world's all-time greats. So many of her seasons have been interrupted by injury, and yet she's done the double-double back-to-back. And it's, you know, I know, of course, Fraser-Pryce has taken a lot of the headlines this season after becoming a 5-time world champion. But Thompson-Herah is an absolutely iconic figure in sprinting, and brilliant that she's here, and she made 10.98 look utterly effortless. An expectant hush around the stadium. You can hear a pin drop. Thompson-Herah has Cartwright to chase. Going well is Beecher. Coming round that bend with Beth Dobbin also in the mix for one of these top 3 automatic places. But Thompson-Herah is floating down the track. Dobbin closing in on Beecher. Herah jogs across the line. Dobbin second, Beecher third, 22.80. She's 900 slower than Achilles from the previous heat, but that looked utterly effortless. She's helped a little bit by that handy tailwind, but I don't know about you, Steph, I'm just so impressed at the maturity of Thompson-Herah and how much respect she's paying these Commonwealth titles by being here.
100%. When I was holding my breath until the start of the heats, waiting to see if she would come out, and especially after so many athletes did have the DNS. And again, I think that just speaks to 22.39 in the World Championships for 7th place. That's still a great time, but for her standards, it wasn't enough. And this is someone who has come back determined to write her own story to end off the season. It was a great start from Thompson-Herah, but also from Dobbin and from Beecher. And again, the 200 rounds, you have to put the work in up front, and you can kind of see a bit later on down the race if you can take the burners off. We see Elaine as she gets into her smooth running, but Dobbin and Beecher are still fighting to make sure they're going to be in that top 3 automatic qualifying place.
Yeah, it's just brilliant to have her here. Beth Dobbin, such a popular British and Scottish athlete, coming through to outdip Beecher. And by the way, the non-automatic 6th spot has now tickled its way up to 24.49 games. What an absolute privilege it is to have an athlete of the calibre of Elaine Thompson-Herah in the Commonwealth semi-final. She's already pulling away from De Freitas of the British Virgin Islands. Dobbin trying to get in the mix for Scotland, and no move yet from McDonald. The battle is on for the 2nd spot. Thompson-Herah floating down the track, very close on the line. Dobbin just misses out to McDonald of Canada, 22.63. She's the fastest of the qualifiers. She's working a little bit, but I think in reality she's keeping her powder dry for the final. She's done the double twice before at the Olympics, and I think she's in pole position to do it again here in Birmingham at the Com Games.
That was a brilliant run from Elaine Thompson-Herah, and I'm not sure she was particularly excited by the conditions tonight. She did look a little bit chilly on that start line and was sporting some long sleeves, but you have to run in whatever conditions you're given, and she has shown so much maturity and professionalism in the way that she has come out, and she has delivered on every single occasion.
And by the way, I'm just checking the non-automatic spots. Beth Dobbin was only a few hundredths behind McDonald. She goes through because she's around 1/10 of a second quicker than Beecher of Australia in the first of the semi-finals. So it will be Gina Bass, and it looks like Beth Dobbin just finishing 3rd here. So not an automatic qualifier, but she will be in that final. She really needed that dip on the line. Good work by the Scot. And yeah, I wonder whether it'll help Thompson-Herah if it is a little bit warmer, Steph, come the final.
Well, I think that's the thing about having these global championships. You are used to training in your environment, you are used to the weather where you train, but you go around the world.
Still shouts from fans around the crowd. But a clean start. Thompson-Herah has got out nicely in lane number 7. She's took the stagger from Connolly outside of her. She's eating it up, the Jamaican. Thompson-Herah into the home straight. Ofili, the Nigerian, in 2nd in the lane inside of her. And Bomber's going to get the bronze. Keep your eye on the clock. 22.02 seconds. I thought it was under threat, and she's taken the game's record off Sinead Miller-Weibo. A plus 0.6 metre wind. It was brilliant from Elaine Thompson-Herah, and now she's the double Commonwealth champion. She got exactly what she wanted here in Birmingham. O'Philly picks up the silver and Bomber the bronze. Both games records have gone in the 200 metres, Steph Reed. What a brilliant end to the evening on the track.
Well, something about running at night here, it's just been magical. And do you know what? It wasn't that dramatic in the end. It pretty much went to scripts. Elaine made her presence known on the bend, and the race really was, in the end, for the silver and the bronze. And I'm just so pleased for her. You know, perhaps she didn't have the championships that she wanted in Eugene, but she has come back and she has finished her season on her terms. You can see her third from the left in the screen. And just in those first 20 meters, her stall was set out. The moment she was gone around that bend, no one was going to catch her. But the interesting battle was happening at the back as Christine Mbama we didn't really know what she was going to do. As you say, she was coming back from injury. Her very first 200, really, that we'd seen her in was in the heats. But Favour O'Philly managed to hold her off for that silver medal.
It was a huge win in the end. Such is the class of Elaine Thompson-Herah. And it means a lot for an athlete that has everything. Her house just sparkles of pure gold back in Jamaica. And as we said at the start of tonight's broadcast, Jamaican... There's a clean start as well. Amuzan getting out nicely in lane number 4, as expected. India going well in lane number 7. Australia in lane number 8 too. This is good running by Nigeria in lane number 4. All look pretty safe on the changeovers. Imani Lansico flying down the back straight, as is Favour O'Philly of Nigeria. Second changeover, hands held high. Australia on the outside in lane 8 going well. Nigeria, though, flying round with Chukwuma on the third leg. Hands back for the Nigerians. A roar from her teammate. Nigeria going to take this one. England with Darren Neater in second. Keep an eye on Thompson-Herah. The Jamaican superstar comes through for bronze for the Jamaican side. But 42.10 seconds, just outside the game's record. But that was brilliant from Nigeria. Absolutely superb. The quartet was fast. Toby Amusan was brought in. And she got the team off to an absolute flyer. 8R area record. Yes, indeed, Nigeria, you are the Commonwealth champions. England pick up the silver and Jamaica the bronze.
We've been saying all week how amazing performances from the Nigerian women have been, both on the field and now in the sprints. And I was actually reading a quote by Favour O'Philly, and she was talking about what the difference is. And she said, the difference is we now believe in ourselves. We believe we can compete with the rest of the world. And I think that performance by their relay team just highlights the mentality that is going through that team right now.
Yeah, it's a national record, so you can't do any more than that. The Nigerians confirmed as the gold medal winners. England in second with Philip Lansico, Williams and Nita. And the flags are being draped by the Nigerian team. And Elaine Thompson-Herah on the final leg, passing the Australian, passing Anang on the last leg for them. Anang would have known that the fastest woman alive was going to bear down on her, and Jamaica there confirmed with the bronze medal, a third medal for Elaine Thompson-Herah at these.
Beautiful people, there is first, and then there is Elaine Thompson-Herah's first. In the world sprinting, names like Usain Bolt usually dominate the conversation. But since 2016, a quiet and focused powerhouse from Jamaica has been rewriting the history books in a way that no woman has ever done so. The first woman to ever win the sprint double, the 100 meter and the 200 meter at back-to-back Olympics. Today, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, we are breaking down the legendary performance in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and the 4x100 meter relay that secured and cemented her as the GOAT, the greatest of all times. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tyrell Reactions, and I'd really love to urge you to please consider subscribing to my channel if you are yet to subscribe. To my returning subscribers, my returning viewers, I have to say thank you so much for the love and support. Now, let's take a quick dive. In 2016, ladies and gentlemen, the world was watching Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Could she win 3 in a row? But in lane 4, Elaine Thompson-Herah had other plans. She didn't just win, she dominated with a time of 10.71 seconds. But the real shock came in the 200 meters, facing off against the heavy favorites. The Finn shippers, Elaine, powered off the curve and held her form to clock a time of 21.78. She became the first woman to do the double since Florence Griffith Joyner, aka Flojo, in 1988. The silver moment mentioned the 4x100 relay, where Jamaica took silver behind USA, setting the stage for a future grudge match. And that's why we see Jamaica and USA give us some of the best shows in the world of track and field. So, ladies and gentlemen, between Rio and Tokyo, Elaine was haunted by a recurring Achilles injury. People counted her out. They said her time had passed. Then came Tokyo 2020. The 100-meter final featured the big 3. Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and, of course, this beautiful speed queen, Shericka Jackson. 10.61 seconds. A new Olympic record. She didn't just win. She left the field in the dust. But she wasn't done yet. And in the 200 meters, she ran a blistering time of 21.53, the second fastest time in history at that time. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, she had done it. The double. Now, when we look at in Rio, they missed the gold. In Tokyo, the Jamaican team was an Avengers squad of speed. I believe you understand that. Elaine took the second leg, the longest stretch, and the acceleration was terrifying. When she handed the baton to Shericka Jackson, the race was effectively over. Gold grabbed by Jamaica, running a time of 41.02 seconds, a national record. This was the moment Elaine became a triple gold medalist in a single game. Weeks after Tokyo, ladies and gentlemen, Elaine Thompson-Herah proved her 10.61 wasn't a fluke. She ran a blistering time of 10.54 in Eugene. That is 0.05 of a second away from the world record many thought was unbreakable. While injuries have slowed her recently, her 5 Olympic gold medals tell a story of resilience. She didn't just run, she flew. And the track world will never be the same again. Now, beautiful people, the biggest question here is she the greatest female sprinter of all the time? Well, I'd really love for you to engage me in the comment section. And of course, I love to say this. If you are new to my channel, if you're watching my video for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more track and field breakdowns. And if you are a returning viewer, a returning subscriber, I have to say thank you so much for the love and support. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Your support, your love, it keeps me motivated to keep on bringing you more analysis, more breakdowns of races in the world of track and field. So beautiful people, wonderful people, I've been your host, Tyrell Reactions, and until we meet again in my next video, peace out and one love.